You're watching Channel 7 Action News.
Welcome back. You may have noticed your friends are checking in on Facebook and Twitter, giving you a blow-by-blow account of their day. But the question is, I guess, why?
Well, we're joined right now by Charlie Wollborg from Curve, an all-around internet guru. So, Charlie, now you know, we're talking about Foursquare. Now, Stephen knows all about this. I don't, so I'm going to help some of our audience members. Tell me, what exactly is Foursquare that you're going to tell us about tonight?
Well, Foursquare is an app on the iPhone, on the Blackberry, on the Android that checks in, that allows us to say, here's where I'm at. The funny thing is, if we look at society now, we're both online and offline all the time at the same time. We're kind of living, when's the last time you had a conversation with someone where they made eye contact rather than looking down at their smartphone? Right.
So if you're at a big game downtown, or if you're at a restaurant or a concert, you can check in with people.
Right. And I just say, here's the place, and it sets a pin on the map so my friends can find me, but also that we can kind of re-explore the city that we all know and love.
Now, I was on Foursquare for a while, and about a year ago, I stopped checking in. I think I wasn't finding the benefits to this, because I'd heard that there'd be these times when you check in and maybe, you know, the shop across the street from where you are sends you a text and says, hey, you're in the neighborhood, come by, we'll give you 20% off.
Absolutely.
Oh, I hadn't seen that happening yet, though.
My wife and I were out for Cinco de Mayo. We checked in at Miguel's Cantina up in Rochester, and it was buy one, get one free margaritas if you check in on Foursquare.
Wow.
So certain restaurants are, and there actually is a feature on Foursquare that says nearby deals. So when I check in, I can see what else is around me. So for businesses, it's a great time to reach out to customers who are already in your neighborhood rather than reaching out to the whole community.
So how many people do this Foursquare deal?
Well, it's growing at 3,400% growth last year. They're adding about 35,000 users a day. They're still only at about 8 million users, so it's nothing compared to Facebook, but the growth curve is really up. And if we look at where web traffic is going, experts predict by 2015 half of all internet traffic will be on a mobile device. And I think that's actually a little off. Most people that have money to spend in a business are on their smartphones already. So.
Now, the big concern, and I guess this is kind of a concern of mine, and I know it would be a concern of yours, is you tell people where you are, they immediately know where you aren't. In other words, they know you're not at home, for instance. Or if they know where you are, it's giving up too much of yourself, isn't it? Personality or privacy concerns are always paramount whenever we're on the internet. So I don't advise people to check in at their home. Don't give away your location. And we're very cognizant of when we're checking in. You know, are the kids at home and things like that. There are actually sites set up called "Please Come Rob Me" that let syndicate your information when you're not at home. So that is a concern.
So what's the best way to use it without doing that? I mean, if you know you're not at home, and what do you advise people to do then?
Well, what we try and do is we check in at places we want to be. If there's somewhere special, if there's a great restaurant, we don't check in everywhere we go. But if there's something we want to let our friends know about, that's when we're checking in. If it's something we have to do, we're not checking in.
And so it's paramount you only check in at cool places, because if it's a lame place, you don't want to check in and let all your friends know how lame you are, right?
Right. Well, the whole point of Foursquare was to get you to get out, and you got points when you check in. It's not much of a game. We actually have a Detroit startup called Gumshoe. Gumshoeapp.com is the address. They've turned Geo Location into a murder mystery, like a murder mystery dinner. When you check in, you may find a clue that point to one of your friends in a whodunit game.
Wow. That's kind of cool.
So Geo Location is just getting started. It's something you can download for free from the App Store and start to experiment.
I like that word, free.
Free is great.
All right.
I may have to find myself back on it again, because I've given it a little bit of a rest, but it sounds like it's moving along. Charlie, thank you as always for coming in. Curve Detroit.
Happy to be here.
We appreciate it.